Hello and welcome back to Chiropterra. In the last episode, we expanded eastwards, and in today's episode, we will continue our expansions and bring them closer under our control. Auburn Leaves had hardly finished with her last set of notes when she asked her next question. And if I may take a shot in the dark, you intended to use Tobuck as a springboard to claim your birthright in Warzina. She could see the stallion becoming more irritated as she pried into what must have been a touchy subject. Luckily for Bergzen, she wasn't here to give him therapy, and luckily for her, he was being very cooperative in the interrogation. She would have considered him rather brave given his calmness, if it wasn't for the fact that he was clearly unaware of the danger he was currently in. After all, she could decide to have him shot. That's correct, madame. I apologize if my efforts to achieve that goal inadvertently put me at odds with your regime, he managed in response, still calm in spite of his convictions. As she finalized one page worth of notebook scribbles and turned to the next page, a thought crossed her mind. He was trying this hard for a reason, wasn't he? He really thought, or at least hoped, that they would release him, so that he could run off and cause trouble with whatever remained of the fortune he had apparently smuggled out of Warzina. She put her pen down, clasped her hooves together, and leaned back. If we could promise you such a thing ourselves, would you be willing to cooperate with us? The question got the response she was looking for, one of surprise, even though he didn't seem intelligent enough to realize that there was likely a catch. The zebra wide eyes returned to normal as he nodded. I would. He wasn't entirely useless. Yes indeed. The fate of the prince. Autumn Breeze scored the notes that his daughter had presented. I'm going to go ahead and save, because I might just have to check out some other things. Fascinating. Not the individual, of course. He seemed to be something between an imbecile and a child. But this little part of here is certainly something. Why, thank you, she gave out, beaming all the while. He was reportedly a semi-competent general, so he should be able to cause some trouble at least. Though how effective he can really be in Warzina remains to be seen. It might be better not to invest our resources in this little project, lest it become more trouble than it's worth, the mare admitted, cocking her head as her father read the notes over again. Autumn certainly had a point there. Warlords were only proficient under certain circumstances, making the assumption that Bergzen fellow would be loyal, let alone competent, would be considerable gamble. All the same, leopardist zebras that soaked up fire and casualties so that the legionnaires didn't have to was an appealing prospect. Even idiots could be useful so long as you gave them simple directions and a good enough justification. She chuckled lightly and turned to trot into the kitchen. Tea, Weiss, do you think? Yes, please. I believe this is a proposition that requires a beverage to mull over. It returned with a similar nonchalance. By the time the kettle had boiled and the tea was ready, the old stallion was sitting down on the settee, with his mind made up. The mare carefully placed the cup on a small central table, and took a seat herself as her father made to speak. Perhaps it would be best if we simply dispose of him. Plus 4 support, plus 5 stability, plus 3% supremacy. We should just leave him in the cell. Or let's make the preparations for that idea of yours, Yes, we should. Alright, what are your troops? Your troops suck, but whatever, they're free. And I'm not really gonna say no to free. Oh, I need to go and do that. I'm trying to push towards moderates. Oh, the Severanian expat. So with my family forced into exile in Equestria, I saw only one way to make a real difference. Leave and go abroad to make some money, doing the only thing I know how to do, then send the bits back to my relatives in the hopes of starting a counter-revolution in Zebrica to restore what was lost. To my knowledge, nothing has happened in spite of the funds I have provided, and the majority of my immediate family have passed in my absence, save my mother Maxim and my aunt Karina. Though this was supposed to be an interrogation, Autumn Leaves was nothing short of enthralled by the tale told by Alicia Sniznaya. Her family history of nightmare worship afforded her some luxuries with regard to her treatment as a prisoner, and admittedly a little bias from her warden, who had been here for several hours now. Estrella hummed to herself. "If I may, how much did you send?" "Just over 2 million bits in raw funds last time I checked. That and whatever historical artifacts I could get my hooves on, since I assumed they would sell at home. Had to really work for some of those," she admitted with a slight chuckle. Despite being a captive, the exile was incredibly personable. Unfortunately, that didn't take away from the fact that she had seemingly avoided discussing the matter of faith, which was the main reason that Auburn was still here. She needed to know if Alicia would be allowed a position in the armed forces, or if measures needed to be taken to ensure her loyalty, but it received no concrete answer. Once the shock at the amount of money that the mayor had willingly given away subsidized, she excused herself for the day. Perhaps her father would have something to say. A fascinating pony, truly. Oh, wow. This event goes on for a while. As it happened, his first reaction was to laugh hauntingly, a fairly uncommon display for Autumn Breeze as emotions went. His daughter rolled her eyes and allowed herself to flop onto the settee, having spent the rest of her day on paperwork and now being completely exhausted. "I fail to see what's so entertaining about this," Auburn managed after a long sigh. Her father clutched a hoof to his stomach and guffled for a good half-minute before he managed to get any words out of his mouth. "Aha! Oh, goodness! Ha! That's marvelous, that is. She managed to keep you occupied for 3 hours without divulging her personal thoughts on the faith. If I didn't know any better, I would say that you avoided the subject yourself. Look at what you've done to your old stallion." She let through a grin, only seen him like this a few times in recent years. "Well, yes, she is a smart mare, smart enough to prove her own intellect by simply holding conversation. Interesting enough to captivate me," Auburn admitted. "Unfortunately, that still leaves us with the question of what to do with her, and is you only exasperated by her success in this case?" The pair looked at one another, silently communicating their thoughts. He could tell that she wanted to give her a chance, and she could tell he considered her a threat to internal security in spite of his admiration for her apparent charisma. In the end, it was up to Autumn to make a verdict. "She will need to be re-educated, in spite of my second fondness. We could copyright her house a bit. Bah, she is clearly talented. Let her be and welcome her in. Let's take the risk." Man, this could go really badly, but man, it'll be fine. We're going non-aligned, basically. I mean, the nightmare has told us to calm, so we shall calm. What are... Oh, those are Nightmare Moon's troops coming this way. Okay. What of the natives? With greater swaths of Zeratine land now under our control, our legions have been encountering more and more of the locals, the natives, the great unwashed. Initial reports indicate that they have not yet dared to interfere with the might of our legions. However, we now face a crossroads of choice in how we deal with the locals. A report have been delivered to the Legionary Council suggesting a potential viable course of action. General standing orders indicate that the locals should be pacified, forcibly in preparation for their distributions in various services as labor and test subjects. However, the report suggested a more relaxed approach and goes as far as suggesting we might endure ourselves and the goddess to the locals by treating them with a softer hoof, perhaps even giving them some token recognition, sparing the rod as an example. Whilst not a practice we have yet made much use of, it may, however, serve as a useful experiment, a sign of our mercy. We have more bullets than they have creatures to spare. Or, fine, we'll give them some legal protection. If we must. War is a racket. When our forces breached Tobuck's last line of defense, sending the mercenary rabble into a full-on rout, they were surprised to find large warehouses filled to the brim with weapons and ammunitions. Our legionaries worked quickly to secure them, preventing those vast arsenals from falling into civilian hands, as the mercenaries themselves showed little interest about keeping on defending the city. Even more surprising, however, was the presence of weapon workshops and other manufacturing facilities, which were left unattended. Apparently, Tobuck was once a substantial supply depot for the Storm King's army during his rampage across North Zebrica, and, following his defeat, mercenaries in the city inherited the still present infrastructure. With some superficial repairs, these old weapon factories can be recalibrated to aid our war efforts. At least Tobuck had something going for it. Military factories. No? No? Okay, never mind. Maybe it was Philian? I don't know. Oh, okay. Well, it's fine. The Desert Kingdom. Lightning Charm was frowning. Oh, wait. My manpower sucks. Stupid garrisons. The Desert Kingdom. Lightning Charm was frowning, which by itself was not a surprise. It was universally regarded as a bad sign. She tapped her hoof a couple of times on her desk thoughtfully. I disapprove of this, she finally said. You are asking me to entrust a novice with the authority to rule a wild land that has only been recently conquered. Our forces still have troubles dealing with those nomadic tribes, and you want me to entrust your nephew with this? Eternal Eclipse shrugs. I've taught Lucent everything I know. I wouldn't be proposing him for such an assignment if I wasn't sure of his capabilities. Besides, he possesses something that many of us simply lack. Is that so? Pray tell, then, what is this incredible skill? An entire room of skilled, experienced experienced legionnaires do not possess. Eclipse chuckled for a moment, evidently finding some amusingness. He knows when to embrace ideas that may appear unorthodox at first glance, and in that regard, he does share that similarity with you. However, the task will also be a good introduction to a proper role of command. I don't have intention to hold my title forever, and I will eventually need a successor at the head of Ursa Legion. Lightning Charm's displeased frown did not abate, but rather continued to increase. To her credit, however, she knew how to recognize a sound argument when it was presented to her. Let us see what the pup can do. Zarantino will be released as our puppet, and he will give you an internship. Lucent Eclipse will be appointed military governor. And come down. And here's how we get the Zeratina that always exists every time that the right now, because for some reason Chiropterra always wins. Which is a showing of our greatness and our glory. Reorganize the Eastern Territories. The Council has established that our most recent conquest shall be incorporated into Chiropterra proper. As we speak, bureaucratic departments are being marshaled to guarantee a smooth transition. While conversion efforts of the local populace are already well underway, though resistance is expected, complete integration is a mere matter of time. Yes, of course. They will come to our beliefs. With time, they will understand the truth. Sure. No, definitely gonna get more test subjects. And I can go to war with Carthaginian Republic now whenever I want. But I'm not really wanting to do that quite yet. Okay, so I need to get my compliance up and then I'll be good. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's just a matter of time. A barrack beneath the night sky. The Continental Imperial Army is still a new institution, and other Imperial forces are being reorganized in the name of loyalty and efficiency. That leaves our legions as the principal military force of the Empress. Therefore, it is our duty to export our talents to the entire lunar world, to ensure the Nightmare has capable defenders. How's things going over there, Lunar? Okay, Luna, just doing fine. There's no wars going on right now. Though I could probably send some volunteer. I could send you as a volunteer to the Discipline of the Night. That's what I'm gonna do. Emerald's progress report. Project Housecat 1. The Legionary Council has asked the LMRD to ascertain if any of the various magical creatures found in the world could be put to military use. Over the last few weeks, several different terms of research have conducted a survey of possible animals, monsters, or other spirits, ghosts, etc. that would be viable. And over those several weeks, I have had to fill out various reports explaining the death, dismemberment, or maiming of most of these teams. The Council's request has been quite costly. Most natural predators we have found are either too dangerous, too weak, or too smart to be considered. Timberwolves proved too difficult to extract from the Everfree Forest, and the team sent to try capturing an Ursa Major never returned. Cockatrices have already proved their difficulty with their humiliation of New Maryland's military, and were not considered, while the teams sent for the Bugbear and Chimera were decimated when the creatures escaped the cage in the cargo ships. The only researchers with any success were the teams sent to collect a Hydra, a predator of dragons themselves. The Hydra is a fearsome enemy. It is also quite dumb, according to the team, and we hope that means it is easier to train. Now we just have to find more of them. Support technology. Yay! I got support technology from the Hydra. Yeah, let's support them in finishing off this war. Alright, you're here now? Now what I want you to do is just start moving over and take the capital of the Celestian Resistance. I hate this attrition. You can handle it though, right, Comet Flash? Oh yeah, you can. Trade offer from Carthage. Representatives from Carthage have come to us proposing a trade treaty between our two nations. The agreement would remove all barriers to mutual trade, paving the way for increased cooperation and economic relations. Carthage has traditionally been known as the gateway to Zebrica, being an important nexus between East-West trade and an entrepot for goods coming across countless Zebrican trade routes. Although devastated by the Storm King's invasion in recent years, at this point they seem to have fully recovered. Signing the treaty would fully open up Carthaginian markets to us, giving us access to valuable goods such as coffee, pearls, porcelain, ivory, and sugar, to name just a few. However, it also might result in economic disruption for us in the short term, and increased independence with Carthage in the longer term. Interdependence. Shall we accept the proposal? We could get some bonuses, but no. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm not working with the nation. literally planning to attack next. Feels a little dishonorable if I did that too. Admittedly, our railway infrastructure has seen better days, and it's in dire need of overhaul. With the benign conclusion of moonshine, though, we can now allocate resources to such projects, restoring the speedy movement of goods and, most importantly, troops across the whole of Chiropterra. Yay! Alright. Yeah, so I'm doop. Okay. Wait, no, I didn't mean for you to go back. I just meant to continue working on this. At some point, maybe I'll be able to switch that. I don't really know how it works in the focus tree, but eventually I should be able to, right? Hopefully. Radio advertisement, Crab Ranch. We here at the Crabtivation Crustacean Connection are happy to announce our first annual celebration in honor of Nightmare Moon. While our ranches across Chiroptera are known for their crazy prices and quality product, have you ever thought of getting your youngsters a new acquaintance of their own? Our new batch of mini coconut crabs have been bred to be 100% docile around the equines of all types, with almost no crab-related fatalities this year. Now isn't the time to be shellfish and deny your favorite filly the friend of their dreams in a pinch? The ranchers got your finances in hot water. Our customers are our most shrimp-important part of our family, and will never treat you like a prawn like some other ranches. We promise not to put you through shell and feeling crabby afterwards. The first 200 customers to pick up their new best friend will receive a year's worth of our signature crab chow and a military-grade leash so you can take your new best buddy wherever you want to go. This isn't a deal to miss, fillies and gentle colts. You've only got a few days before you have to wait another whole year to get a chance at it. It's simple, but honest work. Amazing. Just amazing. I love it. Nice. NHS. Up to now, our healthcare services followed a confused and decentralized model, ranging from private doctors and clinics to village healers. The proposal for a unified entity in the field, the Nightmare Healthcare Service, has reached the Legionnaire Council for approval. After all, with the task ahead of us, it's fundamental for our Legionnaires and auxiliary to be in top shape. One, two. Oh, okay. I don't know. How do you? Well, like I need it. I could just head straight for the capital. Boom! Capital taken. I mean, if it works, right? I'll support you in getting across. Ooh. Huh. But I could also really use that extra iron as well. Mixing mechanization. A machine can do twice the work of an average pony, save for a few anomalous earth ponies among our miners. Be that as it may, by mechanizing our mines, we can extract more, dig deeper, and enjoy a much larger return from them. Yay! There we go. You are defeated. Now we can support them against the Aslans, and then we can deal with the dirty commies. Not as bad as the Celestials, but, you know, second worst. Now stop that. Better stop that, I said. Come through this path. This path is way quicker to reach their capital through. What? You stopped being their puppet and became just their front. How dare you? You were meant to be a part of them. Let's to release Southern Graphonia as a subject state as well as core. Interesting. And that will need Robert. I see. You might get some support in taking that for yourself. At some point. Yeah, whatever. Don't care. Come on, my super soldier. Nice. Subsidizes Silver Moon Electronics. The Silver Moon Electronics has been a long-standing firm within Chiropterra, and despite its rather small size, has proven its product's quality again and again. As our industrial apparatus grows, it is only natural to make sure that such company can expand its production capacity through substantial financing through the state. Come on, take the city. Alright. Nice. Oh, that was a waste. Great, you're mass assaulting now, because that makes sense. Look, it's just to show support for the troops that are out and about. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that makes sense, right? But I think that'll be the end of this episode. If you enjoyed, like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell button. And, as always, peace.